How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys having a great and exceptional day. It's been 2 weeks since I made a video, but I've been busy traveling and all that good stuff. But I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, everybody. Let the good times roll. I'll leave it at that. All right. Now, us going into the year 2025, it translates to the generation of being priced out of buying a home in all major metropolitan areas of the United States of America, i.e., Bay Area, California, Southern California, Los Angeles, San Diego, New York City, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, Denver, Colorado, now, and even places that you wouldn't even think, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Gentrification's happening all over the place, from Cincinnati, Ohio, to Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois. Gentrification has no red state or blue state nonsense. It's all about the economics. That's why I said when it comes to politics, never follow the rhetoric, follow the money. It'll always lead you in the right direction. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. So anyways, for example, like I said, the most expensive housing market in the continental United States is considered to be the Bay Area of California, aka Oakland, San Francisco, all the surrounding cities. Young professionals, like you see in this picture, the younger couple, Zach and Brooks Shapiro, were renting a 2-bedroom. Like most young couples, they wanted to purchase their first home, but homes in the Bay Area are at a median of $726,000, and most likely, depending on the part of the Bay Area, it's probably going to be a 1-bedroom house. I'm just saying. And at the end of the day, this price, like most working people, is much more than they could comfortably afford. Heck, most homes in most metropolitan areas, the price ranges are from $400K to $800K, or $400K to $1 million, depending on the market, within the hour radius of the major cities. Now, bear in mind that both of these people have great high-paying jobs. Brooke is marketing and sales consultant, and her husband, you see in the picture behind me, and the older couple is Brooke's parents. Her husband is deputy general counsel for the university in the Bay Area. And still being able to afford a property in the Bay Area is not that likely for them. And for most, because even I remember, and I heard this before, I remember hearing this from a person who owns his own shoe business in the Bay Area. He was a brother from New York, but he moved to the Bay Area because he was a member of the Coast Guard, so he was a military service member. And he's like, hey, the Bay Area, you can make $150,000 and that's still living below the poverty line. So most of your working people in the Bay Area are broke as a joke, broke as a joke. The living paycheck to paycheck is literally a way of life. Being seconds from being homeless is just a part of life living in the Bay Area. But bear in mind, it's like that in New York. It's like that in the DC area now. Me being from the DMV area, I've seen the homeless population quadruple in the last 5 years, especially since the pandemic. And for the political dummies, doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden or Harris or whatnot. We're just talking pure numbers here. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of politics, so that's why I would say follow the numbers, no matter who's in the White House, or the governor's house, the mayor's house. It's all about what you're doing economically in your house. But what do I know? But I digress. But anyways, it is what it is. So what ended up happening is that the term sandwich generation, which these people, Brooke and her husband, fall into, the Shapiros fall into the sandwich generation. I first read this article today. I was just like, what is the sandwich generation of housing for the housing market? This is an interesting concept, to be honest with you, really, but it kind of goes back to old school traditions, financial traditions of what families did. From the working people did in this country from the inception, especially after the Great Depression. So, anyways, at the end of the day, they ended up doing the term sandwich generation. Brooke's parents reside in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I've been there before. I was actually there for a wedding 15 years ago. And we're that family in Norwalk, Connecticut, and Bridgeport. And they were entering their retirement phase, Brooke's parents, of their lives. So instead of selling their homes or just buying instead of selling their homes and buying a second vacation home in Florida, like so many people do, especially so many people from the Northeast do. They wanted to have younger members of their family near them, especially if they, might have some medical issues. They'd want their, the family with them to help them out, etc. and so forth. Family tradition of just being tight-knit and whatnot. So Brooke and her husband, they ended up, in order for them to buy a home, the parents now share a home with them, as you see behind them. And this is in the Bay Area. And they combine the resources, which I always say I'm all for this. Too bad people don't do this more when the housing market is lower, because then you could buy more property together, as families should. So therefore families can have more generational wealth, but the list goes on and on. So the moral of the story is they ended up combining resources. Brooke, her husband, and her parents, in order for them to be able to buy a home together, the parents now share a home with them. And in the Bay Area, and they rent out the other home in Connecticut, and they made official members of America's sandwich generation. Basically, they're putting all their pieces together in order for everybody to thrive and whatnot. Survive yet thrive all at the same time. Okay. So anyways, and it's basically the sandwich generation is adults who care for aging parents and or grandparents while simultaneously raising young children. Now, before I go on, this isn't anything new at all, because as we age, things change, and one of the saddest things that has happened to so many families in this country is that the lack of unity, living around each other, and taking care of one another. In today's world, aging parents with health issues having affected so many working people on so many levels. According to the article, Brooke and her husband agreed to contribute half of the down payment, and their parents agreed to kick in the other half, drawing from their ample retirement savings. Studies show that people 65 and older have an average of $272,000 socked away in a 401k. They put down 30% needed to secure a loan mortgage rate. So what ended up happening is that the couple purchased a 2,542 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. Brooke's parents live in the 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom studio downstairs with a private entry. The unit has a kitchen, laundry area, and terrace. When her parents go back to their home in Connecticut to visit Brooke's brother in New York City, sometimes for a month at a time, Brooke lists the studio on Airbnb for around $120 per night. Beautiful, to make an extra money, and then obviously they can list it as a business, so they're able to get more tax write-offs of their home. This cash comes in handy since Brooke quit her job so she could devote more time to domestic responsibilities to help others in her shoes to deal with situations like this. Brooke started an online community called Sprinkles, which offers resources for sandwich generation in the San Francisco Bay Area, because not only is this really needed in the Bay Area, it's needed all over the country, specifically all major metropolitan areas, because the more and more people combine their resources, the more and more well-to-do people can be. I always just say the one thing that a lot of immigrants do when they come to the United States, because out of necessity, is they combine resources together in order for the family to own assets, i.e. a home, and i.e. a business, and then they combine assets so that family members can, i.e. put more money away, because it's all about, in the United States of America, regardless who's in the White House, Governor's House, or Mayor's House, it's about how much money, access to capital you can get, i.e. loans and credit cards, and it's how much money you can save. And then outside of that, it's about how much money you can invest. All right, it's how much real estate you own. So these are the things that aren't talked about enough, because these are the things that actually help create wealth for people. And whether one can speak English or go or has a high school diploma or college degree, makes all those things irrelevant if you have a significant amount of savings, significant amount of access to capital, significant amount of access to assets, and the significant amount of opportunities to increase your income and increase your value, therefore increase your life. But it's all about thinking outside of the box from a real estate perspective and an investment perspective. So I leave it at that. So kudos to this family for doing that. I hope more people will try to do what these people have done before it becomes a necessity. Do it when you don't have to do it, and that way you're able to capitalize on the situation even more so like this family. But what do I know? All right, so don't forget to check out Patterson Our Properties. We wholesale real estate throughout the DMV area and the Harrisonburg and Reading, Pennsylvania area and Philadelphia and all that good stuff. Check us out. Don't forget to check out, if you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, individual retirement account investor, don't forget to check out WEBULL/AcornsCrypto.com, Coinbase. With all those platforms, you'll be able to make some money moves, and hopefully you don't live broke like a fool. And just go from there. So on that note, remember, you can't get fired if you own a company. It's 2024, going into 2025. It's time for you to own something, all right? Take care, and I'm out. Oh yeah, do the great thiefy things like share and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Take care, family.